Hey everyone, I'm going to talk about the topic nobody here is talking about today. And that is the 1990s, early 2000s sitcom Friends. We got any Friends fans? One, two? All right. Well, so here's the thing. If you don't know Friends, it was a very popular TV show in the 1990s. It followed six characters in New York City. And it focused, the two main characters, Ross and Rachel, had a very much of a will they or won't they relationship. And spoiler alert, in the end, they do get together. But I think that their relationship is very similar to the relationship we're seeing with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So now, hear me out. Ross in the show was very analytical. He was stuck in his routines. He was overly serious. He was focused on his work. Kind of sounds a little bit like Bitcoin, right? Now think about Rachel. She worked at a coffee shop. She was a free spirit. She evolved throughout the course of the show. You know, she was always up for a good time. Sounds a lot like Ethereum, right? And so I think we can tell a rom-com story where Bitcoin and Ethereum are the main characters, right? So, like any good rom-com story, you first establish the characters. Let's say Bitcoin is working on Wall Street. He's stuck in his routines. He's working a lot. He's always talking about the proof of his work. He's got his eyes on a promotion to the ETF department, right? So that's character number one. Character number two, Ethereum, she's working at a coffee shop. She's meeting a lot of people. She's got a wide network, a lot of friends. She doesn't, she's up for a good time. She's hanging out. And what we're establishing in this rom-com is you always have to get these two characters where the viewers of the rom-com are like, well, how are these characters gonna get together? And then something happens to bring them together. That something is 2023. So Bitcoin in 2023, he's working on his Wall Street job. He's hanging out. He's real serious about working, and he's going for that promotion. And all of a sudden, he decides to get a tattoo, maybe like a little monkey JPEG or a pet rock, right? He's got his eye set on a wizard. In addition to that, he starts getting a little bit of a token habit, like a little BRC20 here, a little BRC20 there. And before he knows it, 2024 is around, he's just got his big promotion to the ETF, and he feels like he's living a double life, right? He's trying to hide from his Wall Street colleagues his tattoos and his token problem. In short, Bitcoin is becoming more like Ethereum. Now, Ethereum, on the other hand, in 2023, she's still fun-loving, but she's starting to talk about some more boring topics, like deflationary tokenomics, store of value. She herself is looking to get into an ETF department. Ethereum is becoming a little bit more like Bitcoin. And we start to see in the rom-com the shaping of a story. Now, let's take a pause from the rom-com, because I want to talk about something. If you think that this is a story about tokens, you're wrong. A good relationship is not based on financial transactions, right? Nobody here, I can't imagine anyone here would say your partner is really just somebody to help share your rent or just somebody to file your taxes with. Maybe some will. The main point, though, is that a good relationship, is based on positive shared experiences. And I think it's possible for us to start having good experiences between Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm talking about like a unified user experience so that the experience of using Bitcoin and Ethereum in a single app is extremely seamless. But let's put a pin in that, because we got to return back to our rom-com. All right, so we're at the point in the rom-com where these two characters are becoming a little bit more similar. And typically in a rom-com, you'll have a friend who comes along to bring these two together, typically in a whimsical way. Oh, that's unfortunate. There we go. And so who's that friend? Who's going to be the Monica of Bitcoin and Ethereum story? I'm going to hold up to you, it's the internet computer. So the internet computer has been friends with Bitcoin for a while, actually. In 2022, we completed a direct native Bitcoin integration. Since 2022, there's literally been a Bitcoin node running on the Internet Computer Protocol capable of reading the Bitcoin state and signing transactions using chain key technology. In addition to that, the Internet Computer recently completed an integration through EVM RPC with Ethereum. That just went live, or that went into beta about 2 weeks ago. So now on the Internet Computer, you can deploy smart contracts that can read and write to Bitcoin and can read and write to Ethereum, including the Ethereum ecosystem, EVMs, L2s. And that gets us back to that positive shared experience. That means that you can deploy apps that can interface with Bitcoin and Ethereum in such a way that your users don't even have to know that that interface is going on. From the user's experience, it can be very seamless. So if we want to tell this rom-com, because right now we're in present day in our story, but developers get to tell the rest of the story, right? How do Ethereum and Bitcoin truly come together? That's your story to tell. And I think what we want to do is, I want to establish, again, what that can look like. On a very basic level, it could look like having inside your app the ability to accept ETH or any L2 token, as well as Bitcoin, native Bitcoin or some sort of synthetic Bitcoin. You could, for example, have an ordinals marketplace that accepts ETH as payment, or an Ethereum app that accepts Bitcoin natively as a payment. That's possible today. But we can go even beyond that. We can go into a place, actually, if we zoom back, think back to when the Friends series was ending. That was around the mid-2000s. And around that time, the internet was developed enough that you could have you could share your location via GPS online. You could have instant chat online. You could have credit card payments online. But it took entrepreneurs to realize that if you combine those three properties into a single app, you can disrupt the taxi industry. Right? So obviously, Uber and Lyft recognized those three properties of the internet, combined them into a single app, and not only disrupted the taxi industry, but actually kicked off an entire market segment that we call the gig economy. If you zoom back and you think about all of this integration that is possible on the Internet Computer, you can actually think about unique properties with each of the chains that it's integrated with. For example, on Bitcoin, you could think of it just as a ledger, which most people do, with a token. Or you could think about it as the fact that it has a unique property of you pay once and you can store a small amount of data forever. It also has a unique property that if you think of it as a database, it is probably the database that will outlive all databases that exist today, just from its decentralized nature. In Ethereum, you have so many different EVM and L2 chains, each with a specific optimization that you can now tap into not just one of those chains, but multiple chains optimizations to make apps that are truly novel today. And that's what I mean when we get, that's what I mean by getting Bitcoin and Ethereum together. That's what I mean by telling this love story between Bitcoin and Ethereum. So think just through what is possible from an innovative standpoint. So you guys get to tell the story. You guys build the apps that bring these two chains together. If you build them on the Internet Computer, like I said, you can, one framework, integrate with many chains. And if I could offer a couple pieces of advice. One is focus on user experience. Like I said, it is now possible to have a multi-chain world with a very seamless user experience. Right? You could abstract away a lot of the complexity that we currently present to our users within Web3. And it's very important that Web3 become competitive on a user experience with Web2. Right? If you want mass adoption, it's not going to come until we are have parity with Web2 experiences. So make it easy on your users. Open up your apps to all communities and make it seamless for them to jump onto your app. Number two, innovate. Think through how each blockchain has a set of properties that make it unique. and use that to develop new apps that aren't currently existing. Extend what crypto does today, right? We can go beyond DeFi, we can go beyond NFTs, we can go beyond social apps, whatever you want to do. Number 3, we're at an opportunity where we can end tribalism, right? That's probably a bit of a problem within our industry. If you're building multi-chain apps, if you're bringing Bitcoin and Ethereum together, you can make it so that your app is applicable to any user community, right? You can accept any of the layer 2s, EVMs, and the Bitcoin communities, and make it so that you don't have to force your users to choose whether or not your app is applicable to them based on the chain you deploy to. And then number 3, again, it is possible, or number 4 is it's possible to leverage Bitcoin and the entire Ethereum ecosystem, liquidity and user community within your app. And that's extremely powerful. It's possible. I'm not pitching you a vision for the future. I'm pitching you a vision for today. It's possible today on the internet computer. If you'd like to learn some more, we have the DFINITY booth actually just around the corner here, or you can learn more on internetcomputer.org. Thank you.